I found out about Osu when a couple of my friends invited me to play this game called Osu after a CS:GO match, and so I decided to try out the game. I mean, there was no harm, and it was after a whole bunch of competitive games, so I might as well try something new because we were pretty bored at the time. And so I downloaded the game and we launched into a multiplayer lobby, and I didn't know how to play the game. I just knew that it was similar to a old DS game I played called Elite Beat Agents, but I didn't know yet to hold down the sliders. So throughout the map, I was just clicking it on every circle. And I was wondering why I was getting D's and 60% at every song. But yeah, that's how I found out about Osu. Currently, I don't really have a skill set I care most about in Osu. I just focus on improving on everything, such as single tapping speed and stream speed. But I guess the one I really enjoy, I guess, playing the most, or that skill set that I enjoy playing with the most, is probably technical maps and being able to perform fairly well in like hardcore jump streams and stuff. I'm still lacking in it, but it's the one skill set I hope to improve most of in Osu, I guess. So, the name underscore Ryuk originally originated from, it's pretty much, it didn't come from Death Note. It came from an old friend of mine who I was just randomly, like, I had the name Bias Films and Ages before, and I just wanted something, something cleaner and without brackets or anything. And the name Ryuk popped out, and at that time, I didn't watch Death Note, so I didn't know that it came from Death Note. So I was wondering why a lot of people had it registered. So that's why I had to include the underscore in it. That's why it's instead of just Ryuk, it's underscore Ryuk. But yeah, it does not come from Death Note. It came from an old friend who just gave me the name randomly, I guess, by combining my first name and my last name. So it's pretty cool. Most fun thing about Osu, for me at least, right now, would be mapping, and I've been doing a lot of that recently. And I don't know. I just feel like, there's a difference between playing a map and mapping a map, and I feel like mapping a map has so much more thought about it, and it's to me the most fun thing about Osu currently. Before it would be playing maps, but I guess I just shifted into a mapping mindset, and that's currently what I find the most fun about Osu. So at the time I started playing seriously, or realized that there was a ranking revolved around rank, I looked up to a couple players, the common ones like HVic, Wubblewolf, Rafis, Angel Sim, but there was also like some other players that I looked up to that aren't that well known, more at least. They were Nara was one of them. Azer in his prime was like pretty much who I looked up to, since he was the #1 Canada at that time. And then there was Yang, Sanara. There's also Captain XN when he FC'd Freedom Dive at Blue Zenith. He was the person I looked up to as well. There's Zellier, Meltina, Happy Six, of course. And there was also like the two speed players, or the three speed players I looked up to. That Greek guy, Iso Kasapucha, I think that's what his name is. I forgot his name. It's really hard to pronounce. Anyways, him, Sanarbai, and Kuo1. Those were the speed players I looked up to. But yeah, I guess I still actively look up to them now. But more or less, it's times changed, and these days, I guess more people look up to me than I look up to them, I guess. But, I still look up to a lot of people. So, during the time I improved exponentially, it was more or less the fact that I realized that, I wasn't good at speed, okay? The only skill I pretty much had from the time I was restricted and the time I was unrestricted was that I was able to read hidden very well and high AR, but I couldn't tap it. So one of the ways I just randomly learned is I just thought to myself, what if I could, alternate every note, just like as it was a space stream, and just like that, I just suddenly regained like immense amount of speed. And since I already had the aim, I just sort of it just all came out. I just started shitting out scores left and right, and actively now, some tips I would give, I would say like, I don't know, have like a good mindset. I mean, that's really important, and just like take like the actual phrase play more into heart and actually play a lot of different variety of maps. You know, adjust yourself to comfortable grips and tapping styles, and always be actively aware of your health. At least that's for me, because you know, progressing through, I always keep health as #1 priority. So if there's pain, I would, stop. I know, and I would know the difference between, I'm not warmed up versus, okay, I'm, it's getting painful now. So that's one of the things I had, mentality I had while going through the ranks. So I guess those would be some advice I would give out. So, my past experience, or I had one tourney experience before I got restricted, and I've been actively trying to participate in as many tournaments as possible nowadays. But I feel that there was a common theme around it, and it was like the fact that I enjoyed being an underdog team than a crazy team like Rubber Conquest, since I've been on both Rubber Conquest and an underdog team. But my experience so far is that, you'd be on like a crazy team like Rubber Conquest, and you would pound through so many teams, and you wouldn't feel satisfaction because majority of the matches ended in 6-0, 6-1, 6-2, or whatever, and you didn't feel, because everyone participated in the same level, you didn't feel like you did much or your team did much. It was more or less like, you just did what you could and you just completely destroyed the other team. But being on the underdog team, like in the recent Z tourney, it was fun. Everyone knew that we all had nerves. No matter what, we would probably be like one short. But whenever we win, it would be, amazing. You had that feeling, everyone was hyped up. And that's what I like most about tourneys. It's not about crushing the other team or whatever. It's more about having fun and being able to enjoy the experience as a team rather than you're by yourself, solitary. And yeah, so I hope to have more experiences in the future where I would be in the team, more or less in the underdog team, and do really well. And that's what I hope to accomplish. So in the past, or shortly after I got unrestricted, I found out about alternating and shit out of all these scores, especially my Inferno one. And I was constantly being pounded with the word cheater, and the false restrictions I had didn't help my case either. But I guess that's, it's life, I guess. But there were, I think, just a group of people in general that really helped me throughout that time. And big shout outs to them, because if they weren't there to help me, like, I wouldn't be here where I was. I probably would have, like, died of, like, sadness and didn't play the game anymore. But because of them, I'm here, I'm playing the game, and, like, it happens, I guess. Like, you just gotta deal with it. And even now, I think still, some people still call me a cheater, but I guess you just gotta deal with it. There's not much you can do about it. You can't change their opinion, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So, in that case, I had to prove myself in a live play, which was pretty cringy now that I watch back. But, yeah, I just gotta deal with it, I guess. Not much you can do about it. So currently, there's not much I want to improve about Osu besides mapping, but in general, I guess I want to improve like every skill as a whole. So consistency, nerves, speed, aim, all that is, I guess, at a level where I'm fairly happy with already. And so, thus moving forward, I guess mapping is the only thing. Like outside of gameplay wise, mapping would be the one thing I want to improve myself, like specifically. Currently, the only goals I have left for the game is probably rank a map and FC, like hidden double time. Claire is colorful. It's like some DT farm map that I still haven't done. But those are the only two end game goals I have. Other than that, I can pretty much quit anytime I want. But one thing that still keeps me going is streaming on Twitch, and I thoroughly enjoy like talking to people in the community, like being able to talk to viewers and entertain them in a way. It's just I like it. So I guess like I can't quit the game quite yet, or even if I complete all my end game goals, I'll still continue playing Osu for as long as I'm going to be streaming, because I thoroughly enjoy it as a streamer.